Hi everyone. So we have no one here in this part, and here's Swati and Anas. So Swati and Anas are from. I would let them explain what exactly is their community about and what they are doing. So go ahead, unmute yourself and talk. What exactly?
Good evening to all. My name is Swati Santosh Tiwari. I am second year computer engineering student. I feel extremely privileged and honored to be given this opportunity to welcome you all on this 1 hour GitHub session organized by our community. I am your host along with my friend Anas Khan.
Hey everyone, myself Anas Khan, and I am a computer engineering student in diploma. So we have started our community in diploma to help the diploma students to aware from the community and the benefit of joining the communities. So we have started our community like 2 weeks ago, that is called DTC, Diploma Tech Community. And this is our first section on Git and GitHub with the help of Praveen, Mr. Praveen, who is, the best, if you know him. So he will going to us, guide us through this process, and he will, let you aware of what is Git and GitHub. And the use of Git and GitHub is very important. I'll let him speak. Okay, that's cool.
Cool. Thanks for such a nice introduction, both of you. And welcome, Swati. Welcome, Anas. I believe both of you are doing this for the first time. So in case if there is any mistakes, let's forgive them. So mistakes are the secret of success, and that is how you learn things. So hi, friends. My name is Praveen. I'm originally from Chennai, India. I'm currently working in London, and I'm living and working in London as a full stack JavaScript specialist. So as a full stack developer, I'm working currently as a vice president of software engineering in one of the top US-based investment banking firm. And I believe a lot of people from India know about which company I work for. But anyway, so, and one thing is we are hiring, and there are like loads and loads of awesome things are going on here. So the first thing is, why GitHub, why open source, and what exactly is this? So how many of you here are interested in knowing about, let's talk this way. How many of you want to have a time machine to go back in time to change something? So just put time machine on the chat, on the live chat, so that I can see. And don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and then start talking as well. And by the way, for those people who are interacting nicely, you all are going to get some nice goodies. So, hey, Arif Sheikh, I guess Arif is the person who is the head of all these things, right? Or Anas? Oh, cool. Nice. Super. So without further delay, let's see how many of you want a time machine in this. I believe a lot. So I haven't seen any chat messages going on. And by the way, I also told that anyone who is going to be interactive, I've got some $50 or 50 pounds worth of some goodies to give away. There are like loads and loads of things I've got. So along with that, I guess your community is also able to give some goodies out, right?
Yep.
So don't miss them. And cool. So Arif, you're definitely getting something, man. And coming to this one, so if you have a time machine, it would be really nice, right? So Git and GitHub, what they do is they kind of like track your changes every single time and through commits. And then if you want to go back in time, you can do it. In simple terms, let's say you start coding on something at 8 p.m. night, and then start working on something, then 8:30, you feel that, okay, you have achieved something or some of the area. And what you would be doing is you want to take a milestone, like save something like, okay, this is a point. A lot of people have played games, right? So when you're playing games, you would be having like, okay, milestone achieved or milestone saved. So after a couple of seconds, if you die, you will get back to the latest place, not the place where you start from, correct? So that's exactly what Git and GitHub does. And not only that, this is what Git does or any other version control system does, but there are more to it. So this is just one of the things. And how many of you want a story here? Anyone who wants a story? Just put only at least one message on the chat that says story. Okay, so already Anas says that he wants a story. What about you, Swati? Yes. Okay, so let's go for Anas and Swati. So let's say Anas, Swati, and myself, we three are super close friends, and we are all studying in the same class. So Swati is in the first bench. I'm in the backbencher as usual. I'm the lazy guy. And then there is Anas, who is in the middle bench. So we three are in the same class and we are all thick friends. Suddenly the teacher comes and gives us an assignment. And Swati being, this over brilliant, over enthusiastic kid, she finishes the assignment, turns in the assignment to the teacher, and she gets 85 marks. And being a good friend of us, she's going to give us a copy as well. So in the real life, don't do this, by the way. It's called plagiarism. It is bad. So once she gives the assignment to us, so Anas quickly copies. He has got a super fast hand, so he copies everything and then turns it in, and he also gets 85. But me being kind of like, I'm over enthusiastic as well. I'm very curious on doing things. So I look at Swati's assignment. Swati, you have got a couple of things that are actually missing or changed. So what I do is I take a Xerox copy of your assignment and then change a couple of things, and then I turn it in. So Swati and Anas have got 85 marks while I got 90 marks. So being a good friend of both of them, I go to Swati first, tell that, hey, look at this. These are the changes I did. They look far better and I got 90 marks. Why don't you copy it, or like, why don't you update your assignment as well? So Swati being over enthusiastic and brilliant person, she makes it even better and then resubmits the assignment. She gets 95 marks and shares with all of us. So we all got 95 marks. And what do you think about this story? Give me some points of what you learned or understood from the story. I'll give you some time. And Swati and Anas, would you like to tell the answer for that? Like, would you like to say something about it? Answer me for this question.
Just copy blindly. Do some creative work, man.
You are just talking about the copy stuff. Tell something else, man. Tell something positive now.
Something I would say is, by this story, we can learn, that if you get something from internet, put some extra features that make it more.
That's actually a good point. Yep. And Swati, any words from your side?
Try to take something those who are more intelligent than you.
That's good. Let's see what YouTube people are saying as well. No responses yet. We still have this thing, so I don't think no one wants the $50 stuff. Anyway, so one thing which I see there is a big potential of collaboration and teamwork. So when you go into the workplace and other places, you'll be mainly looking at the teamwork of everyone. So that is one of the main things that you will be looking at. And secondly, if at all you make any mistake, there is a whole world to help you out in fixing the mistake and other things. So these are a couple of things I would say. I'm also waiting for some other answers, which would be really helpful for like understanding what exactly open source is. And that is open source. But another thing, let's put this into the real world scenario. So Swati, can I tell you as Microsoft? Will you be happy? Right. Okay. The smile says it all. So Swati is actually Microsoft. I am the same me. And the teacher who comes is the developers community. So the developers community are looking for some kind of like an awesome IDE that is required. And so what Swati did first, like Microsoft did first as the assignment completion, is VS Code. And being developers like me and Anas, everyone and people from Microsoft also download the latest version of Visual Studio Code. They are happy. But me being me, I thought maybe add some features and that could be even more better. So what I did is I added a couple of features and then I gave Swati, like actually I took a Xerox copy, right? So I first forked the repository and took a Xerox copy and made some changes in my repository, my assignment. And then I went to Swati or Microsoft telling like, I request you to pull my changes to yours so that it fixes or it makes the whole assignment better. I mean, makes the Visual Studio Code better. Microsoft happily agrees and I get my changes merged. Not only that, they also release a lot of updates and then give it to us. So that's how all these things happen. And there you go. So that's the whole concept of open source. Exactly. So FW20. Okay, sorry, Harish Kurade. That's actually a nice one. Superb. So Prajesh and Harish. Prajesh, you would like to say something. So I would really like to give something like this for everyone. So Harish Kurade, don't forget to give me a small message so that on LinkedIn, and I'll definitely get you a good goodie at the moment. Okay, so you won something right now. So don't forget to, like, connect with me on LinkedIn and other places. So I keep saying that I'm a full stack developer. So what exactly is this full stack development and what are we doing today? So today we will be learning through the complete workflow of Git and GitHub. So if you just give me a few seconds, I'm going to share my screen, and I hope everyone is able to see the screen as well. Yes, someone from the YouTube, please confirm. So this is my website. I want every one of you here today to make something like this. So it says, I'm Praveen Kumar, I'm a cat lover, I'm a cook, I'm a mentor, I'm a full stack JavaScript specialist, blah, blah, blah. All these things are there. And here's all these places where you can get me, like stalk me. And here's my YouTube channel as well. That is where you are actually looking at this. And we are currently having this particular stream going on, which looks really nice now. And apart from these things, the website has got a bit of a small introduction about myself. So what I'm doing and what are all my skills, only those things that are required. Like I don't need to give my birth year, but here's my phone number, email address if someone wants to contact me. And if someone wants to hire me, they can even hire me. And here's my experience. I know a lot of people who are watching this are students. In case if you are students and you don't have any experience, it's completely fine. Try to add your projects here instead of experience. And then education, what I did here, I just copied and pasted everything from my university brochure. And all these numbers are made up numbers. So they are like very high than what it is right now. Coming to the portfolio section, this is one of the main things that I want everyone to do. Everyone does something in your life, right? For example, this is an application that I did in like 12 years ago. This I did like 11 years ago. This I did like 10 years ago in 2012. And a lot of things I have done like this. So I have put everything here. Comparatively, what I did 10 years ago, if you see the latest ones, they look really good, right? So this is what a potential employer would like to look at. And apart from these things, one main thing is like every one of you will be going to study, like finish your studies and go join the jobs or something. In the industry, written communication skills are very important. So make sure you write a blog. You learn a lot of things every day, and maybe try to explain that in simple words, like how I explained about the open source thing and Git and GitHub by telling a story, right? So even a grandma or grandpa or a 5-year-old kid will understand this. So try to do something like that. And also, in case if you're writing some technical articles, try to start with, this is a problem that I'm trying to solve. Then here's an expected solution that I want. This is the approach I'm taking, and this is the solution I got. So that way you can easily write a blog as well. And this is what people talk behind my back, and here's how you can talk behind my back. These are a couple of things that I wanted to say. And I'm using Macintosh machine. So if you go to Praveen Dev Environment, you'll be able to see what the first link gives you this particular page, and you'll be able to find out what all things that I'm using. I'm currently on a Mac machine, and I'm using a Google Chrome as my main browser in spite of all these, what do you call this? Google Chrome has got a lot of privacy concerns, right? In spite of that, I'm going to use this because it is extremely good. And I've got a couple of extensions. Then Zoom I'm using for most of the live streams and talking to people. Git, as I said, it is going to do my time traveling thing. And so on and so forth. So finally, I'm also using VS Code because VS Code is what we will be using mainly for all our development purposes. Mostly for me, I'm mainly using Node.js and React.js. So VS Code is one of the best things for me. So with that being said, let's see what exactly is GitHub. So GitHub is service by Microsoft. Now it is bought by Microsoft. And this is a place where you would be able to create your own open source repositories. So what exactly is this GitHub repository? So let me show you a GitHub profile. This one is my profile. And if you see the repositories, my profile contains a lot of repositories. And if you see a couple of repositories, for example, let's take this emoji mart or something like that. It kind of like looks like a Google Docs or Google Drive, but it is publicly accessible. That is the only difference. And whoever wants to contribute to this Google Drive or something, they can do it, but they have to get prior permission to it. So now we will be looking at how you can contribute to different projects in Git and GitHub and how to create your own, account and stuff like that. And we will also see how we can do one particular contribution from end to end. And finally, we will also try to deploy a small website on Git. Using Git and GitHub, and there is one thing called as GitHub pages, and there are multiple magical things that we can do with Git and GitHub. So is everyone ready? How many of you are ready? Cool. How is it so far? Is everything good? Are you all interested? How many of you are interested for swags? So I've got
these truly interested in swags, definitely.
I got a lot of MLH swags, and I've got like around 10 to 15 things to give away because I'm an MLH coach as well. So I just thought of like doing that and giving it away for folks who are ready. Cool. That's nice. Okay, so let's start with this particular thing. So what we are going to do is we will try to create one open source project on my GitHub repository. So it's going to be github.com/PraveenScience. And let me start by creating a new repository here. So this form will get you started with a new repository. Since we have got our community name here, DTC, we can say like we'll do a full stack repository itself. Okay. So we can do DTC or DTC portfolio. See, a lot of people who are here are students, and tomorrow you will be going to your placements, right? So for the placements, if you have a nice professional profile, it is going to always be helpful. So if I put DTC portfolio website or something like that, let's start with something very simple. And we will also do almost all these things as well. Okay. How many of you are good with bootstrap here? Come on, I want this whole live stream interactive. And what about Swati and Anas?
I have done some projects on bootstrap. I actually made my portfolio with HTML pages on it.
That's nice. That's interesting. So let's do let's see how we all can do your own portfolios as well in this one. Okay, so I'm going to put DTC portfolio website, and then I'm going to type a description, part of Praveen's live stream on Git and GitHub. So at the end of this session, you would be able to work with Git and GitHub, at least try to contribute to one of the open source projects out there. And we can go with this. So to create one of the open source projects, what I'm doing is I'm just writing the description, writing the repository name, and then I'm going to click on create a repository. It's going to be a public repository in my account. And this is the quick setup dialog box that I would get at first. And here you have got the repository link as well. Let me send you all the repo link. Cool. So the first thing that we are going to do is we need to create a particular file, right? An index.html file, let's say. Okay. So for that, I would generally use this particular website called jsbin.com. So this is one of the nice websites where I can actually try writing some code and immediately I'll be getting an output as well. For example, if you look at this one, okay. If you look at this one, so we have got this HTML head, etc., right? So if I put a H1 and then say KDTC, something like this, I would be able to get the output like instantaneously. And let's say if I want to put an image or something like that, let's pick up a Pikachu image. How many of you are good with, I hope everyone knows HTML here, right? There is not anyone who doesn't know HTML, correct? So most of you know HTML. So if I put an img src and then put like this, Pikachu. So I could immediately see the output on the right side of the screen. So this is the specialty of this website. And with that, let me quickly check the YouTube side of things as well. Okay, no questions so far. Yeah, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, click on the subscribe as well. It is going to help us a lot. You'll be learning a lot of things. So the first thing that we will be doing is get the bootstrap from getbootstrap.com. So we will be using the latest version. Let's click on get started. Here's the CSS. So we'll copy this, and here we can start with a title, my portfolio. So this is going to be a simple portfolio, which is not for anyone or something like that. And then it is going to be converted into someone who has done their own portfolio or something. Okay, so that's what we are going to do. So let's see how it goes. Now, instead of these things, what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a font from fonts.google.com. At the same time, you'll also be getting a good idea about what are all the things that we are doing. So for now, I'm going to use Open Sans. And in this Open Sans, I'm going to select the light version and regular and maybe medium as well. So I'll just copy these 3 lines and put it on this JSBin thing just before or just after this one. So for three of these things, I need to put a slash, and here you go. For the style side of things, I'm going to put body font family as Open Sans. And if I try to start with a nav bar, I want a simple nav bar. So at least for this, please answer. How many of you want a light nav bar and how many of you want a dark nav bar? So these are the different types of nav bars that you have got. And some are light and some are dark.
Like light.
Okay. Okay, so we have already light one, dark one. So how many of you want a I like these things. So look at this. Actually, you have got a lot of different colors as well. So which one? Come on, I need someone from the audience to say. So even in YouTube, we have got one light and one dark. And even in the YouTube stream, like with... Okay, so we have got Arif, Shri Krishna Patil, and Pratej. A lot of people are starting with dark. A couple of things are light. Manjiri is also says dark. Okay, so let's go with dark then. Okay. Sorry, Anas.
Majority wins always.
Majority wins always. We are democratic. So what we need to do is, first thing is, let's find the basic nav bar here. So we have got nav with just the text. And let's use this one. And I'm going to just put this one here. So it's going to be dark. All we need to do is just change this to dark. Okay. And not only that, we can also add one more thing called justify content center. Does it work? No, right? It doesn't. So let's cut this, put this here. There you go. This works. So this says navbar, but what we want is my portfolio. And for this a.navbar brand, I want the font weight to be 100. There you go. It looks a bit nicer. And this is all we need to start with something basic. Okay, so I'm going to cut this one. I'm going to put a style tag here, and I'm going to add the styles here. Okay, so far we have done a completely inclusive header. So I'm just going to copy this one and put it over here in creating a new file. So here I'm going to create it as index.html, and then I'm going to paste it here. It doesn't seem to look perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy everything and make sure it is indented, and then I'm going to add this here. Okay, so now we can see that it is a new file completely, and it has got almost all these things. So we generally do this, what do you call this? Code verification and other things. So created a page with navbar. So that's what we have done, a header, something like this. So now we have got this navbar done. The easiest way to preview this one, whatever is there inside this particular page, is there is something called as rawgit hack. So if you open this one, you get a page like this. And all you need to do is, once you open this particular file here, copy this file's address and paste it here. Once you got this one, go to this page and boom, no ads, nothing, your own website. This is not what I was trying to say. I'm going to teach you how you can make something like this. Events.praveen.science is my own. Praveen.science is my own. So these are all my own websites. So, right? So we will be doing something like this. So far, is it interesting, boring? Say something.
Interesting.
Cool. Okay, great. That's interesting to know. And yeah, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and tell your friends as well. Take a big screenshot and then post it on your socials for the social challenge, and you might get something really cool. Okay, coming back to other stuff. So now I want some space below this one. So I'm going to put MB3 and then start the container. Hello. Yeah, that works perfectly fine. So I'm going to use a container fluid, and inside a row, I want two columnar stuff. So let's go with dot col 6 star 2. Okay. Now comes the first problem. I'll tell you what the problem will be, but I want someone's picture here. Who wants to put your picture here? Swati and Anas can also pitch in for this.
I don't think so.
So Anas, your picture, right?
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool. Let's take it from the YouTube itself. From our stream, we will take it.
Let me post, just a bit.
Or do you have any other place where I can get your picture? I'll
on my
section. LinkedIn. I'll just take it from your LinkedIn then. And don't forget to put some comments on what do you think. So here's Anas, and let's take his picture. He looks like a visionary. So do not hot link from this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy image, and then I'll be going to imgur.com. This is one of the best place to host your images. So I'm going to paste it here, and then upload is complete. So I'm just going to use it. No login or nothing is required. Okay. Now in our JS bin, what we need to do is I'm going to use a figure tag here, and there is an img or img.thumbnail. So I'm going to put the source here and put me. And with the class, I'm going to add some more classes. I'm going to use rounded circle. But for something, this thumbnail is not working. So I guess I need to put img thumbnail. There you go. So something like this. Anas, what do you tell about yourself? So you can put.
I'm a computer science student, and currently I am Codedime campus ambassador.
Okay. You can give a lead for that.
Yeah, and I have a keen interest in cryptocurrency and finance.
Okay.
And I'm currently learning JavaScript with 3D.
Cryptocurrency and what?
And finance. It's a little stock market.
Nice, nice, nice. So we have got something like this. So we can also give a class with MB3 or MB2 or something, or MB3. Yeah, there is some space. And we can also put a thank you note. Thank you for coming to my website. Okay, super. So this seems to be looking really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this. So remember, I started at 8 p.m. and now I'm going to make some more changes. So these are the changes. That is what I was talking about. So if you see the preview, I could see that the content has been added some content, and I'm going to commit it. So this way, every single time when you do any changes, they get committed as something like, see, created the page with navbar, added some content. So something like that. You have a checkpoint of each and everything that you will do. So that in that way, it is really good, right? Cool. Any questions so far? Now comes the interesting part. Who wants to contribute to this project? So let's get some trouble for Anas. So if I keep on making this smaller, it is not actually good. So let's say if it is 360 pixels as my mobile screen layout, it doesn't really look good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a small, make a small issue. On my issues are bugs or something like that. So you can also consider as a discussion thread. So a bug in mobile screen. Page is not responsive. Right. Just make sure you give as clear description as possible. When I open the screen, when I open the page in a mobile phone, all I see is very congested. This needs to be responsive. So I'm just going to upload this image as well. And if I see the preview, I can see that it looks like this. So this looks perfectly fine. So I'm going to submit this issue, and this issue is up for grabs. So anyone who wants to take this issue can pick up right now. So it could be even Anas or Swati. So go ahead, and whoever comments on it first, they are going to get the issue first. They are going to get it assigned to this issue. So then they can start working. So who is it going to be? Come on, run. I'm also looking at anyone who is from the YouTube stream who is actually looking at it, wants to pick it up. No one? Okay, if no one is picking up, I'm going to log into a fake account in GitHub, and then I'm going to pick it up myself. So if I want to, I don't know, make it faster. So I'm going to click on sign in for comment.
Yeah, you do it. I need to find OTP for GitHub.
So who does it fast? I would be saying, if I'm the person, I know how to fix. Please assign this to me. And then I put a small smiley and press enter. The moment I put this, I also get this here. Okay, since this is the person who just got it, I'm going to say like, okay, go ahead and get it assigned. So the first thing is you need to understand what exactly the problem here is. So if you open this code in raw Git, let's say, it's here. So if I refresh this page, it will not work because the link has changed. Oh, too many requests. Let's try the other URL. Interesting. Okay, I believe there should be some. It says no traffic limits or throttling, which is interesting. Still shows there are some traffic limits. Let's see what exactly are the traffic limits. So rate limit is true, and we have got no idea what these things say. There's nothing really that shows that you have got so many times, so many hours or minutes will be available or something. So it should be somewhere in the response headers. So rate limit, it says true. Let's try once again. Nope. Okay, that's interesting. So for some reason, it is not working for now. Okay, reload for the new window. Boom, there you go. Right. So for now, I believe it is going to show you something similar to this. So we can very well use this one. Okay. So let's try using this itself. So at the bigger screen, it looks like this. At the smaller screen, when it goes smaller and smaller, it's going to go bad. So what happens is we have used call 6 everywhere. So right now, this is where we will be working on. We'll make these two things as call 12 so that it is going to look like this. And then when it is a small screen, then we'll make it as call SM6. So when it goes like this, it's going to do something like this. Right? So this is the fix for this one. If I copy the whole thing and then go to our page here, the moment if I click on this one, it says fork this project and edit this file, which means make a Xerox copy and then edit the file. So I'm going to click on this one and it says you are making changes to a project that you don't have right access to. We have created a Xerox copy of this project for you to commit and your proposed changes. Submitting a change will write it to your branch in the fork so that you can send a pull request. Remember, I told about pull request and other things, right? So now we have changed these two things, right? So now one more thing that I need to do is, yes, only these two are the changes that I want, and fixed the responsiveness of the main page. Now, this also fixes number 1, right? So this fixes the issue #1, this one. Okay. So I'm just going to click on propose changes. Now I'm just reviewing my pull request. This is a pull request page. So there is only one single thing, and it also shows that fixes the issue number 1. And apart from these things, everything looks perfectly fine. Let's create a pull request. Show of responsiveness, and in simple terms, I'm going to put fixes #1. Okay. Now, if you see this, all the changes that I have done is perfect. So I'm just going to click on create a pull request. Since I wrote this fixes #1, I would be able to see that this particular thing is actually connected. It's linked pull issue, and this pull request, when you try to merge this pull request, this will actually close this issue as well. So far, any questions? So this is the way to, hey, Eddie Jody is here. The open source god is here. Hi, Eddie. How are you? And when are we going to do another pairing with each of us, both of us?
So
Eddie is one of the GitHub stars as well.
I know it. It's true, good.
So let's all welcome Eddie. Thanks, Eddie, for coming in. Okay, so
From Eddie in DTC, first section.
Anas and Swati, this is your time to give your elevator pitch so that Eddie knows you, and maybe you can get Eddie into your community as well. He's one of the best, and who knows, he is being followed by like so many people, so many companies, and you could get even jobs. Sorry, Eddie.
Myself, Anas Khan, and we have started our community in diplomas, that is DTC, Diploma Tech Community. And we would love to have you on one of these sections. Please, yeah. We would love to have you, man.
Awesome. That's super cool. And here's it shows like something like this issue was mentioned in this pull request. So I'm gonna go check out as a maintainer of this project. I'm gonna check this out. Okay, it says fixes one, fixes the issue of responsiveness. So let me go and check the commits. There is only one commit and it says this fixes the issue of this one. Okay, let me check the files that are changed. Okay, so what this person has done is has converted. Basically, this is going to take up the full width, and when it is a smaller screen, it is going to take half width. Seems okay for me. So I'm gonna say approve and give a +1. And I would say looks good to me. LGTM means looks good to me, and in most of the GitHub pages, you would be able to find this. So now once you have done this, yes, RF, Eddie is here. Eddie, brother, please come and grace our streams. Thank you. So here we have got the changes approved, and now all the checks have also been passed. On approval you have received, and this branch has got no conflicts. So I'm going to do a merging here. I always love to use squash and merge. So this looks really good. So let's squash it and merge it. Done. So now we have done with the merging part. And if you see here, and if I open this particular page on, let's say, where is our raw Git? Let's refresh this page, get this one and open this now here. Too many requests again? It's okay, fine. So what we can do here is, instead of, see, these are the problems that you might get when you are using third-party tools. So we will be using our own tool, which I'll come back to it later. So now if you see the content of this one, let's go to the raw file and then let's use our JS bin here and paste it over here. There's no difference, to be honest. So it's going to be like this. But there is another problem that I found. What could it be? In the smaller screens, this is not aligned properly. So I want this to be aligned properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a small copy of this, and who wants to pick it up? Be ready. Now is the chance. So I'll go to the issues. Look at this. The issue is also closed. This is the complete workflow that you would be doing for this. And I'm going to create a new issue again, saying like picture not responsive in mobile view. When I open the page on mobile screen, I could see the pic is not centered. Someone please fix this. So we see the preview. It's going to show me something like this. So let's submit the new issue. Whoever wants to pick this up can pick it up. I will put this issue on this one as well. I was like waiting for someone to get some jobs through Eddie today, but no one is actually talking except RF. RF is from the same team. So obviously you would already have been getting a lot of job offers. So I'll just ignore you. Okay, who wants to pick this up? Anas, would you like to pick this up at least? It's yours, man. Do this. So this is how the whole process
I'll do it,
is going on.
okay. Because I don't know why, but my GitHub is not logging in my laptop, secondary laptop.
Don't say that, man. You will be losing a lot of opportunities then. So now one thing, in the meantime, who wants to know what is GitHub from Microsoft itself? Like, let's watch a video. So how many of you are ready? I'm going to mute myself and then we all are going to watch the video. Okay, I believe the sound is not there, so I'm sorry about that. Let me try to fix that right away.
Okay. Okay, what is GitHub? Well, GitHub is a platform that helps people solve problems by building software together. So, how does it work? This is Sam. Sam works on tractors all day, but not in the way you might be thinking. She builds the software that helps make tractors more efficient. And she does this on GitHub with the help of her team, Vijay, Melinda, and Mike. Now, even though they all work on the same project, Sam and her team don't all work in the same part of the world. This is Eddie. Eddie also works on tractors all day, except he actually works on the tractors all day. And this is the Harvester L700. It's the latest flagship in the company's fleet of tractors. It's full of sensors and processors that produce a ton of diagnostic data. Eddie has a great idea for how farmers might share their data and improve their harvests. So Eddie opens an issue on GitHub. Issues are discussion threads where people can report bugs, request features, or even just ask questions. Sam is the first one on her team to see Eddie's issue, and she thinks that Vijay would be the best person to start the job. And here's where we get into the nuts and bolts. Eddie isn't the only person using the Harvester L700. All over the world, other tractors are collecting moisture data, and they need to keep running smoothly even while Vijay is working on the new features. He needs a dedicated place to experiment so none of his changes end up on the farm before they're ready. So he creates a branch of the code, an alternate timeline where he can safely make changes to the software. Now he's ready to start writing the new feature. GitHub tracks Vijay's changes and saves snapshots of his progress. When he's ready to collaborate on the changes with his team, he opens a pull request on GitHub. Pull requests let you show others the changes you're proposing so they can review and discuss them. This means Vijay's teammates can help with roadblocks and even make improvements. On GitHub, everyone has a copy of the project. So if Melinda has an idea for something that will help make Vijay's work even better, she can add it to the branch herself. GitHub keeps a record of everyone's contributions and feedback in the pull request, alongside relevant messages from the team's other systems. Once the team has signed off on the changes, Vijay can incorporate the new code into the project. The new feature will be available to everyone as soon as he merges it in. Now farmers everywhere can all benefit from Eddie's great idea. But this is really only the beginning of the story. Because GitHub is the largest community of developers in the world, with millions of people sharing their projects, Eddie's idea could end up helping people in unimaginable ways. What kinds of problems are you trying to solve? Whether you're an engineer, a code enthusiast, or even a farmer trying to harvest grain, software touches every corner of our lives. GitHub is where people build that software. It's how they build software. Together.
How was it, everyone?
It's more good, but I have a slightly doubt on branches.
Okay. So we'll be using branches a lot in terms of how should I say? We will be using a lot of branches because we will be working with different issues, different places. So branches are the alternate timeline. For example, if you look at this particular issue itself, no one has actually picked it up. So no one wants the $50 gift card or anything. That's fine. Not a problem. I'll just give it to these two folks. Okay. So branches are something like, for example, if you look at this one, there is only one branch here. But whereas in this particular person who actually made this change, they will be having multiple branches now. So if you see...
Praveen, sharing this some tab or what?
Yes. Sorry. It's here. So if you see here, if you see here, there is only one branch in the original thing. But in case if you see the person who actually made the changes and saw here, so if you see here, there are multiple branches. There will be a lot of branches here because if you go to the fork of this particular thing, you got this one, and there are like patch one branch and main branch. So patch one branch will have the code that is very much needed only for that particular issue. So in case if you want that code that should not, like, how would you say, contaminate the other things, what you can do is you can just remove this one. Okay, I just wanted to show you a small interesting factor here. So to fix this particular issue, I'm going to take this up. So I'm going to assign it to myself. Since no one wants the $50, I'll take that for myself, and I will be making the changes for this. So what I'm going to do is how many of you want to see a magic here? Now type in magic in the chat box. Anyone who wants to see the magic?
I love magic.
So let's try a magic thing here. So what I'm going to do now is, all I'm going to do is I have opened this particular window, and I'm just going to press the dot button, and then I left my hand. Okay, I'm not doing anything else. Boom, we have got a VS Code on your browser. You don't need to install anything. You have got a VS Code on your browser itself. This is the magic. Welcome to the great Kiri Allen's magic show. So now what we need to do is we need to create a new branch. So I'm going to click on this and create a new branch, and I'm going to put 3 is the issue name. So 3 hyphen fix center image. And then I have clicked on switch to the new branch. So now if I do this, this particular image needs to get centered. So if I go back to our this particular thing, in this part, this needs to be centered. All I need to do is, for this figure, I need to put call sm, text sm center as the class name. Sorry, it should be class equal to text sm center. So, oh wait, text sm. Okay, we can actually do text center itself, because it should be centered even in this part. It should be centered here as well. So this looks really nice. And the same thing for this one, for the below thing, this should be left aligned, whereas in this case, it should be centered. So I'm going to use text sm center. Text center and text sm left. So when you are in the mobile screen, you will be seeing this as centrally aligned. And when you go to the bigger screens, technically it should be left aligned, but for some reason it is not left aligned. That's interesting. Okay, did I make any mistake? I'm pretty sure it should work. Let's see if we have the text sm center and sm left. Okay, there is something called text sm end and start. So what we will be doing is we need to use the text sm start in this case. Okay, it's just the naming convention again. So what we need to do is we'll use text sm start. And in this case, it is centered. In this case, it is not centered. So this is exactly what is the fix for. And then I'm just going to copy it and go to my VS Code here, open the index. We are already in the 3 fix center image. And I'm going to copy, paste it here and save without formatting. Now, if I do this, all the changes that I would see will be here. So it is here. I could see that there is text hyphen center and text center, text sm start. So fixed the responsiveness of centrally aligned text. So this will be fixes hash, which one? I guess it's hash 3, right? So let's try to fix the hash 3 here. So this is going to be fixes #3, and then I'm going to press this tick button to commit this one. So once I do this, I can even open the pull requests here itself. So local pull request branches, 0 pull request in this category, waiting for my review, all these things, etc. So we can actually create a pull request as well. So clicking on this create pull request, it is going to do merge changes from fix center image to the main and fix the responsiveness of centrally aligning text, fixes 3. All these things can be done here itself. And clicking on this will also show you this is the thing, and there are no more. We can just go ahead and click on create. So once I click on create, we can see that there is a pull request already here. So if I open this one, there is also this particular issue that's been added. So it was just done by me, right? So I can directly go ahead and make sure, okay, there seems to be some issue. So what people might do is, hey, fix this one. And then I'm going to click on start a review, and I'm going to request for more changes. Since I cannot do anything, I'll just do like, leave it this one, hey, fix this one. So what I'm going to do now is I go back to my index.html and save it once again, or add a thing and save without formatting, added last line. So once I do this, if I refresh this page, it is outdated right now, but seems to be have resolved the conversation. And if you see this, there are only these 2 changes, which are fine. I have reviewed it. I cannot give a +1 here, but I'll give this as a comment, and I submit the review. Now, all I need to do is I just need to squash this merge thing, and we don't even need all these things. So confirm the squash merge. So once we have done, this is now ready. Okay, so the next thing is deployment. So if you want to deploy the current thing, all you need to do is go to the pages here and then use the main here, and then you can save it. So one more thing which we can do is in this pull request, since this particular pull request is closed, I can actually go ahead and delete this branch. That's actually deleted. If I go to this code and open this, there is only main branch here. Now you could see this orange blob that is running here. So this is going to push it to your GitHub pages. So let's quickly have a look at the status. GitHub status, and make sure all the pages and other things are all running. I don't want to have any hiccups here. So GitHub pages seems to be working normally. So now what happens after this? So if you go to your settings, pages, you would see there is a blue bar which says like your site is ready to be published at this particular place, but it has not been published. Wait for it to turn green. The same way, if you go to this coding page, you have this orange thing became green tick. Now, if you refresh this page, you will be seeing this image in green. So if you try to open this particular thing, boom, there you go. Now, if you reduce this page in a smaller way, it is going to be responsive as well. And here you go. So Anas, if you want to say change anything, or anyone who wants to do any changes to this website, everyone is welcome to do this. I hope this was a really nice introduction to GitHub pages. And wait, how many of you, I believe a lot of people will not like to use this big, huge thing called Praveen Science. Yes, that, I mean, like so many things are there, right? So you don't want to use this kind of a URL. So published URL here is this one. But if you want to use something which is already like you want to use something that is interesting. So yeah, in case if you want to use your own custom domain, how many of you here like Jigglypuff? How many of you know what Jigglypuff is? I made this Jigglypuff development.
I know. I have watched Pokemon.
Right. It's a Pokemon character, Jigglypuff, and she's one of my favorites.
Singer. When she sings, everybody sleeps.
Yeah.
But
that's what
everybody wakes up.
After looking at her.
The thing we have.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get into Cloudflare, this is where I manage the Jigglypuff development server's DNS. So I'm going to add a DNS. So I'm going to sign into the Cloudflare account in my dashboard. So I don't want to share any sign-in things. So just give me some time. Let me log in. So let's use DTC or something like that. And for those people who are interactive, who were interactive, whoever have, so I'm just going to read out the names then in this case. So there are only a handful of people here. So Arif, Pratej, Manjiri, Sarvesh, Haresh, Shri Krishna Patil, okay, did I miss any of your names? I guess that's it, right? Okay, there is diplomatic community as well. So you all are gonna receive $50 credit for creating your own domain name. So message me on LinkedIn. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And now we will. So this is the dashboard which has got our jig.win here. So I'm just gonna open this one and I'm gonna open the DNS. And in the DNS, I'm going to add a record. So in this record, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a CNAME record here, which means canonical name, and which means it is going to copy another website from this. So I'm going to put DTC here, DTC, right? So I'm going to use domain.github.io, and then I'm going to save. So DTC.jig.win is going to be an alias of domain.github.io. Now, if I'm going to do another CNAME for www version, it's going to be www.ttc. I'm going to use domain.github.io, which is the GitHub pages. I'm going to click on save. The moment I click on save, I could see that these two things are connected to domain.github.io. So I'm just going to close this one. And let's wait for some time. And also, I wanted to give this custom domain as dtc.jig.win and click on save. Once I click on save, it takes some time and then it is going to show you these things. So again, you see the blue box here. So it is not the green box yet. So pressing a refresh button once again, it takes some time. So you go to the code, you see this orange blob, go to the details. Let's see what exactly is happening here. So it is setting up the job and it is going to pull the actions Jekyll build pages thing, and it's going to check out all these things. Then it is actually going to build the page. Then once it is done, it is going to do the post checkout features. And then once this is done, it's going to do the deployment part. It's going to start the job. It is still waiting for a hosted runner to come online. I believe it is online right now. So it is actually doing the deployment to GitHub pages right now. So report is successful and complete. The job is also completed. So it shows you dtc.jig.win. And if you open this one, boom, this is our complete final website. How is this? Final website.
dtc.jig.win.
So if anyone from any part of the world opens dtc.jig.win, you'll be able to see the site perfectly working. So
I'm famous then.
Yes. So you can also get rid of your, what kind of link tree or something like that, and we can just make something like this. So for those people who are interested in, so how was it so far? What did you think? Did anyone learn anything new?
I have learned, about Cloudflare and about that, that website that you can just code and you can just see output with, same as manner. I was not aware of that. And I've also cleared my doubts on branches that I had. And
it was a great session.
That's very nice. So I hope everyone enjoyed it. And I'm also looking at any other comments who are here. So for those people who have won something from me, don't forget to message me on LinkedIn and get your goodies today, or else you will be missing it. So tell your friends about this, take a big size screenshot and share it on LinkedIn and other places. And there is going to be a full stack webinar coming in a few hours. So wait for it as well. And I hope everyone is safe and finding yourself really in the healthy situation. So any questions, I'm happy to answer now.
Yeah.
Any questions, or shall we stop it here?
Ask some questions, guys. You don't need to, be so.
Arif, just go ahead and connect with me, man. That's fine. Just connect to me. Connecting is free. So click on the more and click on connect. Go ahead. So for everyone who is struggling to connect with me, just click on more and click on connect. I don't know how to turn it off. So it is just going as follow for the first part. For some reason, it got enabled and it is not allowing me to disable it, the creator mode or something. So go ahead, hit the connect button by clicking on more and then click connect. And then message me saying in that small dabba, tell that you won today in this DTC first session. Don't forget to mention that. And I know that I have. Pratej has got a good question. What age did I become a full stack developer? That's actually a nice question. I guess. Okay, during my 8th standard, I don't know how it is right now in India, but 6th standard, I started working with Visual Basic 6. And then 8th standard, I started with HTML, CSS, and ASP VB script. That was my first ever full stack application I created. I created a small encyclopedia with my help of my neighbor, Bhaskar uncle. I want to give him the credit. So yeah, so that's about it. So if it is 8th standard, how old was I? 8 plus 2 plus 3. So I was 13 years old, and it was that time I created this.
Amazing.
Okay. Any other questions?
I mean, I have one question for you.
Go for it.
Like, I want to pursue, web development as a career.
Yeah, obviously.
I'm a little confused, in front end, back end.
Okay.
I don't know much about it, but for a starter, what should I choose?
Okay, then I would say go ahead and see roadmap.sh, where there is a front-end roadmap and a back-end roadmap. Now, what I'm going to say is, for everyone who has the same question, wait for my next session, which is about roadmap to full stack web development. There you will be getting all the answers. It's just 1 more hour left, and I guess is it 1 more hour later or like 2 more hours later? Let me quickly check.
It's 8 o'clock.
Yeah, it is at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Oh, nice.
Okay, 7 o'clock IST. So it is, wait. It's not 7 o'clock IST. It's 8 o'clock IST. Yeah, you are right. So we have 1.5 hours left. So go ahead. You would be getting the answer. Or if you're saying at 8th standard, you were not even aware of how computer and website all works. In my final year, I was still figuring out if there is any difference between, what should I say? Apsara pencil versus Natraj pencil. But whereas you all are community heads and you all have your own communities. So think about that. You are far better than me.
But
all right,
we
cool.
have so much to learn from you.
I have a lot to learn from everyone as well. So we are all learning all the time. So it's going to be really cool. And thank you so much for being here. And
thanks to you for considering my proposal and coming and taking this section. That means a lot.
Always ready for these things. So thank you so much for coming in, and thanks a lot for having me here. And I hope I did not bore you all with whatever I talked. And I have sent all the links in the chat. And for those people, who have won it, I'm going to give you that small goodie surprise, whatever it is, for starting your own website today. So go ahead, enjoy, and stay home, stay safe. Bye, everyone.
Bye.